What's going on, everybody? ODC here, and I am here with a little Sunday hangout. I have off tomorrow. I have tomorrow's Labor Day. I don't. I know. Let me know if it's too bright. Maybe this will help. There we go. Go over here. All right. So, what do we have here? A whole bunch of stuff. Um, yeah, I just wanted to do like kind of like a chill little hangout today, and I was gonna upload a couple reviews within the last couple days, but I've been kind of busy with a few things. What's up, Matt? How's it going, man? So I figured it's Sunday. I have off tomorrow because it's Labor Day. Derek, what's up, man? How's it going, everybody? If you're just tuning in, I thought I'd do like a little hangout today and or tonight. Like I said, I wanted to upload a couple reviews this weekend. My long weekend. I actually took off Friday, so I had a few things to kind of work out personal stuff. A few things happened during the week, which kind of set me back as far as nothing serious, just a few things personally, but I don't want to get into all that. That's why you guys aren't here for all that. So, but I just thought we'd just do something chill. Shoot from the hip as usual. That's what I should have probably titled this "Shooting from the Hip," but just a cool little hangout. We could just chat back and forth. I don't really have any topics to really talk about. I did find a few things actually in my collection room that I actually didn't even realize I had anymore because they were put away in storage or whatever. So I got myself a couple beers here. I figured we'd just sit around, chat, hang out, shoot the shit, talk about some action figures, and have a good time. Try to get our minds off the BS that the world has to offer us. Another thing is my iPad just finally took a dump. So I'm actually using my mother's iPad right now to shoot this. She was kind enough to allow me to lend me this, so I'll be shooting reviews with my mother's iPad. I'm not sure if the Human Mechanism. What's up, man? How's it going, Yo Joe? I'm not sure if the quality is going to drop between hers and her iPad and my iPad. I know hers is large. It's not. I have an iPad Air 2, but for some reason my iPad started ghosting. If you don't know what ghosting is, it's basically it'll just start opening up apps that you don't even like. I won't even touch the screen. It'll just start opening up random apps. So I had to send that to Apple. My computer's. I got the guy for the my computer fixing my computer coming over tomorrow. He couldn't come over Friday, so it's just like I am not getting along with technology lately. I don't know. Dem Guts, what's up? Like I said, there's no plan here. I got a few things to show you guys just because I didn't realize I still had this stuff, and I was actually pretty happy to have found this stuff in some storage. That's what I've been doing the last couple days because I haven't really been able to upload. I just got this Lenda iPad within a day ago, so I unfortunately was not able to upload the reviews that I have on my iPad. So either I'll have to reshoot those or, I'll have to wait until my iPad's done to upload those for you guys. I did actually have a MOTU Classics review, which I don't do a whole lot of those. I think I've only done like maybe two the entire time I've been on YouTube. So I'm going to do a couple of those. I have a whole bunch of them actually. Zorpox, what's up, man? So cheers, and I figured I'll go through some stuff. If you guys want to bring up some topics to talk about, Oreo's just kind of hanging out. I got him a little pillow right here, so he's hanging out next to me, right down here, on the mess that is this room. That's the other thing I was thinking about doing. I'm probably going to spend the most of tomorrow since I have off all day. I'm probably going to clean this room up. It's an absolute disaster. Yeah, that's Oreo. Can I show off my Black Series shelf? I mean, it's pretty much every Black Series figure up until the last two recent ones. There's a Darth Maul shelf right there. There's a Luke Skywalker shelf up there. I got my Imperials, my OG Imperials right there. I have my new trilogy stuff, which I might actually box up because I'm just not a big fan of the new trilogy stuff, the new Disney trilogy stuff. So, but there it is right there, and then we got the I guess you want to call them Imperials, whatever. The new Imperials down there. We got the Resistance down there, or First Order up there. Resistance down there. We got Jabba and his bounty hunters down there. We've got prequel stuff right there. OG good guy cast right there. And then we have up here, where am I off camera here? Whoa, I'm way off. What else do we have? We got over here, am I pointing to the right? Okay, yeah, there we go. Over here we have some more Imperials and Darth Vader. Over there we've got like kind of like a makeshift Rebel squad that I made. This like custom Rebel squad I made. I'm not pointing at them. I am pointing at them, but not on screen. On screen it looks like I'm pointing at the middle of the shelf. But I actually am pointing at them, so I actually have to point over here. We've got a couple SH Figuarts figures over there. Down here, just a couple speeders, the Rebels crew, which keep falling, knocking each other over. And then down here we kind of have some Han Solo figures. And let me see, there we go. Down here we have some Han Solo figures and some what we've got from the what you would call it, no longer canon characters. Over here we've got Jabba's palace, 3 3/4 inch style, with the old school 90s cutout scene, 3D scene. I remember I got that for I think $6, something like that, a couple years ago. And down here we just have the rest of my 3 3/4 inch figures, which I don't have too many. The ones I do have, some are mint on card. Like that whole box set back there, that's the Imperial Guard box set. And then down here, just some random more figures. And then on the very bottom, which is covered right there, just some Lego setups, stuff like that. Nothing too crazy. But I'm not going to bring up the camera all close and do all that. I don't know. I'll save that for another video. But at least I went through everything. Land speeders down there. There's Ray's speeder over there. The lighting's not good in here, so if I do a collection video, it'd have to be like pictures with good lighting. Like I said in the last video, I'm not going to be repetitive here, but pictures with good lighting so you guys can see everything properly. I don't want to do things looking all ghetto, and I want things to look good for you guys. So I did find a few things that I forgot I even had. Which I found this Ace figure just sitting in storage, and I forgot this is actually the Ace that came with the Thunderwing, which is one of my favorite G.I. Joe vehicles. Probably my favorite airplane vehicle that came out for the G.I. Joe line, period. So here's Ace, and I actually like this Ace. He's got pretty good sculpting detail on him for a new sculpt era figure. And I like it. The only thing that these are really just hurting from is that wrist swivel. If these had a wrist swivel, man, these would be so much better. But it looks pretty cool. The helmet is removable. At least I think it is. Yeah, it is. Okay, it was just sticking. And there's Ace's head. I actually like this head sculpt. Looks pretty good. He's got a little... I think he's got a little rub on his nose. Yeah, a little paint rub. That's probably from the helmet itself, but there's Ace, old school Ace, and I just usually keep his helmet on anyway. And I used him actually for just kind of like a generic pilot. I like my modern Ace, so I have him. And then this guy's actually sought after now because he's complete with his helmet. But I got an Arrow Viper that I forgot I had. Pat Morgan, what's up, man? But here's the Aero Viper with his removable helmet and his very late 80s, early 90s head bandana with the eye holes cut out. But yeah, I guess this guy's pretty sought after if you have the helmet, which I guess had a tendency to get lost a lot. I'm not getting sick. I've been coughing all day. And then, speaking of Ace, we have another Ace right here. I really like the sculpt. As far as vintage figures go, I really like the sculpt of this one a lot, actually. Do I have the tactical battle platform? Yes, I do. But there is Ace. I believe this is the Ace that came with the Ghost Striker. I might be mistaken there. If I am, I'm sorry. But he actually has a little hole in his chest where you can plug this tube into. So that's pretty cool. And the tube actually has a little divot that just kind of hangs out there. So that's pretty cool. And I also have some non-G.I. Joe stuff here. I'm going to take his helmet off and see what we got underneath there. I think I have to depeg his mask, which is also a really nice touch. I really like the fact that you can take this mouthpiece off. And then underneath we have, whoa, a whole bunch of paint just came off his head when I took the helmet off, which means that this helmet's probably never been taken off. But, wow, yeah, because you can see all the red paint in there. Oops. See, it's stuck to the... Love the Punisher section behind. Oh, yeah, I have a whole Punisher and Wolverine set up. Like I said, I would show you guys everything, but it's kind of a disaster in here. I want things to look good, not like a... I'm actually thinking about, and I want to know what you guys think about this, I'm actually thinking about knocking this wall down right here. Because my room is set up like where I'm looking at you, there's the doorway right there. Okay, then we got a wall right here coming up. And I got two Detolfs right here, and I got the one other Detolf right there. But I have a wall right here up against this wall is what I'm talking about right here with this these two shelves. Thinking about is knocking this wall down. Then you got my computer room over there, knocking the wall down because I have hardwood floors under here, building a kind of a pathway through there, and then just have this be like kind of like a toy, a whole like a 2 rooms worth of like a collection. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. But yeah, there's the Wolverine and Punisher setup. I got the 1/12 scale Punisher there. I don't have the 1/12 scale Mezco Wolverine. I don't know what it is about those 1/12 scale Wolverines. They didn't come out right. The 1/12 scale Mezco Punisher came out great though. I love that one. I wanted the classic version of him, but it was just way too expensive, way too hard to get my hands on it. So I have I believe the regular release that came out, and I had to pre-order that. I mean, pretty much with all Mezco figures, you got to pre-order those, because if you don't, you're kind of screwed. But I think I have every Marvel Legends Punisher released, even the 2-pack. There was a variant 2-pack with the face-off Punisher, which I think that's the only one I don't have, maybe. So I don't have every single one. But the Wolverine, I got the 1/6 scale Sideshow Wolverine and Punisher, which I never shot those reviews. Just shaking my head at myself. Anyway, but this is what I got. It's the shelf. I got up here is, you can't see it, but there's Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. There's 2 different versions of Obi-Wan. Then we got the Figure Arts figures in front of them. You can't see it because there's a glare right now. But up there, that's Luke Luke Skywalker's Hot Toy shelf. All those are Hot Toys. I have the episode 7 one, the episode 4 A New Hope Hot Toys Luke, and then the Return of the Jedi Luke that just came out. So that's what's in those detolfs. And I have a detolf right here with some other stuff. Yeah, I've shown you guys this stuff like numerous times. You can go back in other videos and see all my Hangout videos. Let me catch up on some of the... I don't want to be rude and ignore anyone here. Let me go back here. Sorry, I know I'm... yeah, don't blow your budget, dem guts. Always stick within your budget, you know. I mean, I am a. I didn't always stick within my budget. Didn't last too long. Soundwave. You said you got fun news. You've purchased nearly a complete G.I. Joe. I don't know what it. Oh, okay. Nice, nice tactical battle platform. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. It's a good play set. It's really nice. Yeah, I have one myself. I do. I got it a couple years ago. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. It's a really nice set. I like it. Modern figures work with it too, which is good. Most of the vintage G.I. Joe play sets integrate with modern Joes. Harley Quinn, thank you. Harley Quinn, Supergirl, Rogue, Ray fan. Wow, that's a lot of different characters right there. The clothing sucks on Wolverine. Are you talking about the Mezco one, Dem Guts? Or are you talking about the 1/6 scale one? Because the 1/6 scale one's pretty good. Anthony, no problem, man. Yeah, just yeah, no problem. If you're at work, do your thing, buddy. What about the new Marvel Legends Classic Mystique, though? Oh, I know that whole wave looks pretty good. I'm kind of upset that we didn't get Shaman. We're getting Guardian again. I would have preferred get Guardian later, and let's get the brother and sister combo, and we get Shaman too. That would have been nice to get them before him, seeing as they haven't gotten a release at all. Yeah, I got a lot of Superman. That's my Superman shelf right there. My Batman shelf's over here, but Superman's over there. And then we got some of my favorite collecting connects right here, and some of my favorite villains down there. I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, there they are. And then we got my Predators down here. Predators, where are they? There they are. I'm probably going to be doing some... I was actually going to shoot a Predator review tonight because I know the new Shane Black movie's coming out this week. So I might do a couple Predator reviews that I have not done. That would be something I really want to do. So probably, I don't know. I don't want to say what I'm going to upload tomorrow because I have no idea. You know, my ADD kicks in and I'm like, oh, I'll do this instead. Because I can't think. Oh, the Mezco one, Dem Guts? Okay. Yeah, the Mezco one's weird. They haven't quite got Wolverine correct yet with the Mezco one. Some people are all about it, but it's just, I don't know. The brown and tan one that I wanted, I'm like, why does he have Ninja Turtle shells on his shoulders? I don't understand what that's about. It looks terrible. And then the underwear's like still too high up. Like they hiked it up a little bit, Mezco did, but it needs to be higher up, I feel like. I don't know. It doesn't look right. It looks like he's wearing a jumper. It doesn't look. Hey, Andy, what's up, man? I'm playing catch up on your videos, by the way, on a lot of people's videos. Even Hooded Cobra Commander, I've been playing catch up with his. I want to say this to any of my wrestling fans out there. If you haven't checked out, I don't know how I just found these guys, but they're awesome. They have a great wrestling review channel. OSW Review is awesome. I've been kind of binge watching their channel for the last couple days. That's kind of what I've been doing with minimal internet access. I've been kind of watching things on my phone. That's pretty much it. But I've been watching OSW Review. I've been catching up on Indy's channel. Soul Drum's channel, Rob's channel, Strident's channel, and Hooded Cobra Commander's channel, and some Form BX too, because I've missed so many reviews within the last year or so. I'm like, and what was it? Review Spot also. So it's been I've been kind of binge watching YouTube for the last couple days. You were gonna get the Old Man Logan Mezco one. Yeah, I know that's the other problem is that they're so expensive. They're getting more and more expensive. I think even Marvel Legends went up. Uh-oh, did I freeze? Yeah, I think I froze. Let's tap to. Oh, I'm still. I think you guys can still hear me, but I don't know what's going on with the screen. It's not my connection because I have all my bars. So Spider-Man looks like he's wearing pajamas. Yeah, that's the problem. A lot of them look like they're wearing pajamas. Yeah, I wanted that Cyclops, but that Cyclops is over $100, and I'm like, why? Because he's got a light up feature. I mean, the friggin' Toy Biz one had a light up feature. That was $5 back in the day. Granted, obviously, I know there's. Oh, I'm back. There we go. I know there's a lot more articulation now, and he's wearing cloth. But I mean, is it really garnished that much more? I remember when Mezco figures first started out, they were $45. Now all of a sudden they're over $100 on the regular. I'm like, what the fuck? What is going on? Friggin' Hot Toys figures are $250. And they just kind of stand there. I got rid of half of my collection. I'm going to be honest with you. I got rid of it because they just stand there. There's no point. They're just standing there. They take up a ton of space. I just can't collect them. If I had all the money in the world and all the room in the world, I would collect them on the regular. But I don't have that much room for them. And they were taking up way too much. So I had to get rid of a whole bunch. But yeah, anytime, Andy, man. You got a great channel. I was watching your Predator reviews today. That Concrete Jungle Predator I have it. I just haven't even taken them out of the box yet. There's a lot of stuff I just haven't gotten to. It's just annoying me that I'm finding this stuff. But yeah, that figure's awesome, man. I love that figure. I think it's my favorite besides the Elder Predator, which he is really cool. Let me bring him over here. This guy, the only issue that I have with this Elder Predator is that his mask doesn't stay on. It's just kind of a pain in the rear end to get him to keep his mask on. It wants to constantly pop off. But that, and you can't get it, his mask isn't even on correct. There we go. Now it's on. So you can't mess with him too much. And I really like his spear. I love this cloth cape. That is cloth. This is definitely one to get. A lot of it is a reuse of that Chopper Scarface body, but it just works for this. I love it. I absolutely love it. I can't wait for Ahab to come out. Ahab, and then there's a few others to come out too that I want to get. The Bad Blood one, they're re-releasing that, and Ahab. So those are definitely on my high priority list. Also, that Elder version 2 is coming out. The Clan Leader is another one to get. If you find the Clan Leader for a good price, pick him up. I have the Clan Leader, but he's kind of an annoying pain in my ass because as soon as I pull him out, his tentacles, those alien tentacles, pop off, and then he'll knock everybody over. But Sorry, sorry, Mr. Oracle. There we go. Um, what else? So I want to do, I want to do some Predator stuff too. I'm also thinking about picking up some of the Hiya Toys Predators, but I hear they have issues standing. But I would like to do like a Joe display with them. It would be pretty cool. Marvel Select Rogue looks good. Yeah, she does. She does look good. I love the Marvel Select figures. Diamond Select does a great job. I can't wait to get the Diamond Select John Wick. I'm passing on the what is it, the Mafex one, because the Mafex one's like $100, and I'm like, what exactly am I getting for $100 here? So I was like, screw that. I'll get the Diamond Select one. But I love that company. It's one of my favorites. That and NECA are two of my favorite companies to collect. You have one Marvel Legend, which is Taskmaster, and you bought it the other day. Nice, them guts. Are you just getting into Marvel Legends? You want to get the Marvel Select Beast? Yeah, it's coming out this month. So I can't wait for it to be in my pile of loot. So I can... You like when the figures are $20? Yeah, I think so too. I think the $20 price point, once you start exceeding the $20 price point, I feel like, I don't know, it's too much, you know? Marvel Legends, I hear, are going up. I know that the movie figures are going up. I don't know if every one of them are going up. I know they released a press statement, and I think Strident told me that they were going to go up in price, and I'm just like, I really hope they don't, because there's some figures that just aren't worth a $20 price point, in my opinion. Oh, you got a Reveltech Deadpool? Nice. Nice, man. Reveltech is good. They're older stuff. Like I have the old Reveltech Boba Fett. Wasn't really feeling that figure. He's kind of like clunky and weird. And I have also the Reveltech C-3PO, and he is kind of like very limited. I feel like if I push his legs any far forward, they're gonna snap right off. The arms are kind of. But I bet you their stuff is probably better now than they used to be. Those are older figures from, I want to say, what, 2013, 14? So their stuff's probably improved by now. That's what I'm assuming. Yeah, for a comic shop to be $25 price point, that's pretty damn good. It's pretty. I'm having issues with YouTube again. What's the most I've spent on a figure? Ooh. I mean, are we talking Hot Toys too? Because that's probably the most I've ever spent on a figure. I don't know which one it would be too. Might be this guy, which... Oh, I think it might be this guy. I just sold I had a Captain Rex and I sold him off. That was probably the most expensive. But this guy was up there too. And I just got him... I got him a while ago, though. He wasn't what he commands now. But Commander Wolffe is my favorite of all the clones. He's always been my favorite since even the... Are you alright, bud? I'm making noises over here. But this is one of my favorite figures. Yes, he's still in the box. Just because I don't have room for him. And he's actually so new, he's never been taken out of the box. This has never been removed, ever. It still even has the little wrapping in there. So... Never been taken out. This was bought kind of brand new. Only had one owner before, and he never took it out. I know that because he's got all of his original wrapping and everything on him. But this is one I don't know. I might not ever take out of the box. I like the way the box looks. It's pretty crisp and clean, and I'm not a mint on card collector. As you can see, the majority of my stuff is out, but there's rarities, and he's a rarity, especially for what he commands on the market. If they ever do come out with a Hot Toys version of it, then I'll probably pick up the Hot Toys version 2 of him. I know they're starting to get back into doing their clone commanders now and clone troopers. So Hot Toys starts coming out with those. This still to me is the measuring stick. This set the bar as far as quality goes for the clone troopers. I think he's actually better than Captain Rex. He comes with more. I like his alternate heads that he does come with. It looks really good. I believe he's got comes with 3 heads. I just like overall. I like the presentation better for this guy over Captain Rex. Like I said, I sold off my Captain Rex. So that excuse me. Spent $100 on a box set with Catwoman because they never did a carded figure of her. Which Catwoman are you talking about? The DC Direct, DC Collectibles. What from what line? Yeah, you keep some of your. Yeah, it depends on your mood. Yeah, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. That's what I'm saying, Dumb Guts. It's certain collectibles. I'd like to keep them in unboxed. Like I have the GI Joe 1/6 scale Dusty. He's one of my favorite figures that I own, but I had to take him out. I love displaying him. I got a little Dusty shrine right here that I'm staring at right here. So I got my vintage Dusty, my 25th anniversary Dusty, my Rise of Cobra Dusty, the Pursuit of Cobra Dusty, my Marauders Dusty that I made, and then we got the 1/6 scale Dusty. So that's pretty cool. And I even have a little Loyal Subjects Dusty. My Joes are all upstairs. They're all in the attic, so I'm not going up there tonight. That's usually where I do my reviews. They're all upstairs. Some I actually had to move to my storage in the basement because I didn't have enough room, and I'm kind of doing quasi construction upstairs because I'm trying to get my presentation down. Like when we go up to the attic, I want to have figures kind of going on the wall while you walk up. Like I have a closet right here, and I want to kind of display things right now because mostly everything is just storage, and I want to start to have things look professional. Like if I tear this wall down, and instead of having 2 bedrooms, it would just be one big bedroom, but it would be for the purposes of a collection room. So, because eventually what I'd like to do is I'd like to have my Joe stuff on one side of that room where my computer is and everything. Excuse me. And then have all my like comic book stuff and MOTU stuff and Mythic Legions over here and Star Wars stuff over here. Because the way everything is set up, it kind of doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? It's like I got Star Wars shit right here. Then I have Star Wars shit right here, 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 and then I got like some Joes right here, some Marvel stuff up there. I've got DC UCs right here. I got Figure Arts down there. I got Predators over there. Then the rest is like Star Wars, and then it's like nothing makes sense in this room right now. It's just there's no feng shui is the term I'm looking for. I got friggin' a whole shelf full of WWE figures, and then I got WWE figures mixed in with, like, not mixed in, but it's just not themed properly. So it doesn't look right now. Hold on one second. Soundwave says yeah, like the rare ones I'll sometimes keep them in on card. Most of my Joes though I take out unless it's like what was it? I got the San Diego Comic-Con Sergeant Slaughter, and I got the Mail Away Doc. I do have some Pursuit of Cobra figures, but I actually ended up buying them at an estate sale. Those are the extra ones that I got. Are It's not the whole line or anything like that, but the extra ones I got, I kept mint on card. Like I got mint on card Dusty. I'm trying to think here. The Jungle Strike, Duke, Beachhead, Lowlight, Snow Job. I got these all at an estate sale for cheap, like dirt cheap, like almost retail cheap when they came out. Do I have the 30th sci-fi and the Jungle Bat? Oh, you have it. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yep, yep. Yeah, those are good figures. Some people don't like the Jungle Bat. I like the Jungle Bat because I think it works within, you know, I mean, whether it's a Jungle Bat or not, you still want to have him camouflaged, you know, so people don't eyeball him so easily. Because I feel like black and yellow and green would stand out like a sore thumb, you know. Tim. What do I army build and how many figures are in my army? For right now, my army building is kind of. I mean, I army build bats. I army build vipers, regular vipers. I army build like techno vipers. I army build. Like, are we talking any line or just Joe's? Because if we're only talking Joe's, I don't really army build on the Joe side at all. Like a lot of people like the army build the pit troopers and stuff like that. I feel like GI Joes they don't need an army because they have specialists for each mission. Why would you need regular troopers? I don't know. Like you have clutch, you have double clutch, you have all these other characters that can do things you don't necessarily need. So I don't army build for the Joes. I just don't do it. It's unnecessary. Unless it's like a prison guard or something like that. I'll use like a what was it, the Rise of Cobra Zartan. I use him with his hat on for just a couple guards. That's it. Just watching the prison cell. But I only army build Cobra, but I don't army build specific characters like the Saw Viper. I do not army build him. I feel like there should be one Saw Viper. Even though that specific Saw Viper, I think they ended up killing him. The one that killed Doc and... oh, wait, it wasn't Thunder. It was Doc and... Was it Thunder? I think it was Thunder. Thunder got killed. Thunder definitely died. I don't know if it was Saw Viper that killed him. I can't remember. Anyway, I have the comic. I can't remember right now. But anyway, so I don't army build the Saw Viper. I don't army build the Alley Viper. Who else do I army build? That's an army builder. I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, I pretty much like any Cobra Trooper. I army build the crap out of those. I army build all the bats, stuff like that. The black and wait, I missed a whole bunch. Sorry, I'm trying to get my finger out of the way. Whoa, that was a stretch. That was a stretch, buddy. Good boy. Whoa, helicopter head. Yeah, Harley Quinn. I want to keep everything in order. Correct. Oh, you live in a damn guts. You live in a studio in Manhattan. Yeah, that's tough, man. My sister lived in Manhattan for 7 years. She lived in Greenwich Village for about 7 years, and her apartment wasn't an apartment. It was like a hallway. Do I have the big aircraft ship? I wanted as a kid, but never. What aircraft? The aircraft carrier? Harley Quinn? I don't have the flag. That's on my list of things that I would like to get. Oh, the GI Joe ship. I think you're talking about the flag. I don't have a flag. No, I have a Terror drone. I have both the GI Joe headquarters. I have, as far as play sets go. I'm trying to think what else. I know I'm forgetting a whole bunch of stuff because because I can go up there right now and I'll be like, oh yeah, I have this. Oh yeah, I forgot. But what else do I have? Forgetting something. I have the tactical battle platform. I don't have the Defiant, and I don't have. Those are the two big ones: the Defiant and the Flag. I don't have those. Like I said, I do plan on getting a flag, and I would like to make it mobile because I want it to be a centerpiece in my collection. That's why I'm thinking about knocking this wall down. This way, it'll have more than enough room to move around and get out of the way if I need it to. But it'll definitely be a display centerpiece. Another centerpiece that I want to have is a WWE ring with a whole setup. That's why I really think this wall's coming down. But there's that. And then what else do I want to do? Oh, I have this Fantastic Four ship. Like, there's a whole bunch of ships. The Fantastic Car. Which actually, this does fit the new Marvel Legends build, or I shouldn't say build a figure. The new Marvel Legends thing, and all the new Fantastic Four figures fit in this vehicle. It's awesome. And it comes with, I believe it comes with sounds and firing missiles and everything. It's pretty cool. I also have the movie Fantastic Car, but it doesn't really fit figures all that well. It's kind of a cramped one. So that's the one to get. Excuse me. But yeah, no, I don't have the flag. Go back to the chat here. Yeah, the Crusader shuttle's a good one. Human Mechanism, yeah. That's like if I decide not to spend I don't want to spend a shitload of, like, I just focus. If I decide not to spend a lot of money and blow it all on a down the line, I'm not talking anytime soon, but and get the Defiant, I might just use the Crusader as my, I guess, second choice to that, because it's like a quarter of the price. Defiants go for anywhere from $1,200, or I want to say, I don't know. You could probably find one for like $500, but it'd be a whole bunch of missing parts. But I feel like if you find a Crusader, you're gonna spend like maybe like $250 to, and I think it's like $250 to $500 for the Crusader, depending on if you get like a brand new boxed Crusader. I think they go for like $400 to $500. But yeah, the loose ones I'm sure I've seen them at toy shows going for like $150. So. You have five. Dumgut says you have 5 Arctic bats, 2 classic colors, red and a jungle bat. Nice, man. Nice. Yeah, no problem, Harley Quinn. No problem at all. You said if you had a flag, you'd use it as a center table. Well, originally what I was going to do is I was originally going to just make my own. And I had this discussion with Strident numerous times where I was just going to go to Home Depot, buy a bunch of grip tape, buy a bunch of like plywood, stuff like that, and I was going to make a larger version, a more scaled version of the flag, and it would cost a quarter of the price than me going out and actually getting a flag. And I was going to make it about 8 feet long, 8 to 9 feet long. I was going to get the hull of, like, just find the hull piece where you can store your figures and stuff like that with the satellite dishes and everything on them. I was going to find that and attach it. But, you know, and my dad was going to actually work on it with me because I'm no carpenter, but he's a great one, so he can teach me. But I wanted to build that. But at the end of the day, I guess I could technically make one and have it be mobile. It would just, I feel like it would just, it's almost too big. And at the end of the day, I have to live within reason. So I can't have like a 9-foot table taking up all this space where I have other things that I have already to put in that said space. Where if I buy a flag and then I make it so it's mobile and I can move it out of the way, then that's different. But a stationary table, I mean, you really got to be set up where you want to put it and be happy with that, you know? But I mean, any way you want to do it that makes you happy, go ahead and do it. I'm just telling you from my perspective what why I decided to go the other route and not make my own, which I was going to do, but yeah, the Defiant does take up a lot of space. Strident's got one. Whenever I go there, I'm constantly just staring at it. But it kind of it's weird. It takes up space in a different way than the flag does. Like the flag takes up space in length, where the Defiant takes it up in width. It's just it's just like a big, especially if you got the gantry pieces open. Like it is large. It's huge. And then if you have the I know, bud. I know. I know. What are you tired from? Well, we went for a run and a W earlier. But anyway, if you have it like all set up where you have your figures in there and the shuttle piece is connected to the I don't know whatever the other piece is. I can't remember the name. Anyway, if you have it all set up like that, then it's going to take up more space. But if you have it just kind of sitting there where it's launching and then you can put your figures around it, I feel like if you get a Defiant over, like, and this has always been my argument as to if you're going to pick one to get the Defiant, don't get the flag, because the Defiant actually does things, and it's almost like a transformer kind of. Like you can do different setups with it. And work with it to where it doesn't take up so much space. Where the flag is just like it's a table, it's going to take up a lot of space, and you got to be set up for that. That's why I haven't bought one, because I don't have the space to put it, and I'm not going to go buy something that won't fit somewhere. Just doesn't. It's not logical. Do I have to be picky with figures? Oh, you're. For some reason, the comments are getting cut off. I don't know why. Do I have to be picky with your figures you get, or not really? I just get what I like. I'm not really picky. I'm picky with price point. I'm not going to pay a ridiculous price or something unless it's a very rare occasion that I pay a lot of money for a figure. I usually wait. I'm very patient. Even with when new figures come out, I was a little bit more anxious. I would say a few years back with getting stuff right away, but I'm not anymore. Within the last 2-3 years, I've slowed down drastically with getting things right away, unless I get some sort of crazy deal on it, you know. Um, but yeah, I just collect what I want. Like I'm not a one trick pony. I have DCUCs. I love DCUCs. I love my wrestling figures. I mean, I grew up with wrestling, just like I grew up with Batman and Superman and Star Wars and GI Joe. Like I have an equal amount of love for everything that I own, and I don't discriminate. I always wanted Transformers, but I, as much as I watched the cartoons, my parents couldn't afford Transformers because back in the day, Transformers were kind of expensive compared to GI Joe. GI Joes were like $2.50, $3, where Transformers were like I think $15 to $20. I think at the time, 10 to I think they were more. They were definitely more. But yeah, my parents couldn't afford that, so I would get a GI Joe because they were definitely the cheapest things to get at the time. And you can get a bunch of them, you know, for the price of one Transformer, you know. Oh, Gaz, what's up, man? How's it going? But I'd always get like GI Joes. I could never get. I didn't even. My parents couldn't afford MOTU figures. And then whenever I would go to Toys R Us and find the MOTU section, they'd be like the ones that no one wants, or they'd be just too expensive. Like they, for some reason, I just got the crap end of the deal. You know, the crap end of the stick with MOTU and with Transformers. And that's the other thing. Transformers, the ones that I wanted, like there was never a proper Optimus there, like a G1 Optimus for me to get. I just never found one. So I never ended up collecting Transformers. Never really. I mean, I love them. I have an affection for Transformers. They definitely have a part of my childhood, but I never started collecting them. And I had very few Transformers growing up. Oh, sorry, my fingers all. Like I always wanted Ironhide. Ironhide was one of my favorite characters. Sorry, I'm playing catch up with the comments here. Might as well use an ironing board for the flag. I know, right? Best deal I got was 7 HISS tanks for $40. That's a good deal, Tim. That's a really good deal. I like the HISS tank version too. That's one of my favorite HISS tanks. What's yours? Used to love WWE in the 80s and the early 90s, or 90s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. Yeah, they were good. You know what? I was thinking about this. I've always thought this, but I was thinking about this today when I was watching some reviews, and I was just like, you know what? Everyone like praises the Attitude Era, but I feel like the match quality went down in the Attitude Era. I don't know what it is. Like, not like, I want to say maybe the first 2 years of the Attitude Era, the match quality I feel like it went down. Like there were so many run-ins and interferences and bullshit endings. Like it was mostly like the characters, the promos, the storylines were great, but the match quality like went down, like way down. And there was like chair shots up the wazoo. Like I was going back watching like all of these like a couple of like the vague ones to me, like what was it, WWF Carnage or European Carnage, what was it called, something Carnage, London Carnage, Carnage in London or something. Anyway, and I'm just like watching like the match, like all these like bullshit endings, and I'm just like, oh, this is like, what happened here? Like I remember we used to get like like at least like good finishes at the end with a lot of like the 80s and 90s stuff. I know a lot of the 80s stuff ended in like not even DQs, like countouts or like double countouts were the absolute pits. And not to say that there weren't good matches in the Attitude Era, because there were, but I feel like the Attitude Era, a lot of people forgot the match quality wasn't all that great. Yeah, I still watch New Japan. I've been watching New Japan for a while. Um, I started watching New Japan. I remember watching a couple New Japan tapes of Hulk Hogan when he was in New Japan for a little while. But that was way after he was already in WWE. That was like in the early 90s. I would get those tapes because I think my mother went to Japan for like some sort of trip or something, and she brought back like all these wrestling tapes, and one of them was like Hulk Hogan on the front, and she knew how much I hated Hulk Hogan. But no, I'm just kidding. it was Hulk Hogan, and then it was what else? She knew I didn't like Hulk Hogan, but she knew I loved wrestling, so she'd bring me back tape from Japan. They were all like New Japan wrestling tapes. So I started learning more about New Japan. Like that's when I fell in love with the Great Muta. Like Muta, he's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. And it was sad to see that he had such a short run in WCW, because I wanted him to hopefully come to WWF one day, but it never happened, which is a shame. Another one of my favorite wrestlers is Ultimo Dragon. You have Downbeat Jazz and Soundwave. Nice, man. Nice. Masterpiece Optimus Prime. Yeah, he looks great. Yeah, the Masterpiece figures I hear are really good, but I hear that they don't transform well. I hear that they're kind of delicate. That's what I've been told. Yeah, Transformers were always kind of pricey. Me and my friends used to refer to Transformers as like the rich kid toy. We're like, oh, rich kid toys. Where's our GI Joes? My one friend would call them average Joes. He'd be like, "Oh, what are you playing with your average Joes?" And I'm like, "No, they're GI Joes, stupid head." And Brainbuster all day. Yeah, I know. I don't even want to get started on the new WWE stuff that's going on. It's like they're trying to go back to the early '80s, and like Roman is their Hogan, but Hogan. The difference between Roman and Hogan is that Hogan was over, and Roman's not. They want Roman as their Hogan or their Cena. I would say they're more so pushing Roman as Cena because they forced Cena down our throats for years. But let me see. I know. I wish GI Joe movies were the live movies were better too. Hopefully, this new movie is better. I'm not holding my breath on that, but I hope it is better. I'm nursing this beer. Holy cow! I also found this guy, Vicor, one of my favorite MOTU figures. I forgot it because he was like in the hanging out with my Mythic Legions, which I refer to Mythic Legions as the grown-up version of MOTU Classics. Um, they're I can't wait to get the new Kickstarter stuff. It's supposed to be shipped. I think it's shipping. I think it shipped a couple weeks ago. So I think they're getting it, and then they have to ship it out to us. So whenever those get here, I think they said anywhere 4 to 6 weeks it takes to get from the factory to the Four Horsemen warehouse. But yeah, Vicor is an awesome figure. He's definitely Conan the Barbarian, even with his very Conan-esque via the comic. Supposedly the Conan movies in works. I don't know what's going on. They said they were having rewriting issues or something like that. But Arnold's supposed to reprise his role as Conan. I don't know what's going on with that film. Hopefully it gets made. I'd like to see him in one more movie, and I feel like he's the right age now to be in said movie, since this would be about King Conan. So I'm a big Conan fan too. Um, well, the storytelling was them guts. The storytelling was always better in the '80s and the '90s. Like I remember, what was it? One of the best stories. One of my favorite stories was. It started with WrestleMania. It actually started at Royal Rumble 1991. Um, with Macho Man and what was it? Macho Man. He was King Macho or Macho King Randy Savage, and he had Sherry as his valet, and they had that whole feud where he cost Warrior the title to Sergeant Slaughter, and then that led to his retirement match against Warrior, and he lost that match. But the real story wasn't that match, and it had nothing to do with Warrior. The real story had to do with Elizabeth and them getting back together, and that was such a powerful moment for as a wrestling fan, because that's real storytelling right there. Like when you get if you go back and you just like you can go on YouTube and you can Google this that moment. It's a really powerful moment because keep in mind when you go back and you watch it, it's been 2 years since Savage was with Elizabeth like on television. Like she was just gone off of television for like 2 years. So he's like doing his own thing after that whole debacle with Hogan and the title, Hogan taking the title off of him at WrestleMania when the superpowers exploded or imploded or whatever the hell they said. But that was such a great moment when she jumped that guardrail and attacked Sherry because Sherry was kicking Macho Man. Then they got back together, and then they had that whole wedding ceremony thing. And then that wedding sparked a new feud, one of my favorite feuds that Macho Man's ever had, which was another great line of storytelling, which was Jake the Snake Roberts and Macho Man. Which still to this day, I think that if Jake the Snake would have got his shit together and he wasn't abusing drugs or he wasn't abusing alcohol at the time, that I'm convinced that the way that story was headed was, at least the way I would have done it was I would have had Jake the Snake win the Royal Rumble that year, win the title instead of Ric Flair, and then have Jake going in as champion against Macho Man and finishing that feud at WrestleMania that year, WrestleMania 8. I think that was one of the best feuds, and Jake is such a good, one of the best, if not the best, one of the best promos I've ever heard in my life. The guy just, I don't know whether he would write this stuff down, or if he would just think of this stuff. It would just pop into his head while he was doing it. I want to say that he was just that talented where he would just like, boom. He would just be like, okay, we're gonna start taping. There's probably many times where he was just probably like, bam, one line done, because he was just super talented on mic. Like no one could touch him back then on the mic. Nobody. He didn't have to be intense and in that era, like he was steady, calm, and smooth on the mic. I mean, if he would have just like, man, sober Jake the Snake Roberts, just think about that. If he was straight edge Jake the Snake Roberts, who knows? This guy could have been the limit for that guy. Seriously. His moveset was over. He wasn't necessarily the best in the ring, but he didn't have to be because he was so good on the mic, man. He could just, when he slapped Elizabeth, that was like, whoa, back then. That was a huge deal. And then I remember his line right after. He goes, man, I'd pay to slap her again. Like right after he'd done it. And that was this Tuesday in Texas, that pay-per-view. What a line. What a ballsy line. And back then that was very taboo. You were not to touch women. But I mean, Sherry would get bumped here and there. I think what was it one time she got military press slammed over the top rope and onto Savage by Ultimate Warrior. And that was even like, whoa, like kind of ahead of its time, like ECW style. Like I've never seen a woman military press slam by a guy. I haven't seen that since the Attitude Era. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that, like Mae Young style. Like Mae Young got powerbombed by Bubba Ray Dudley. But yeah, you don't see that stuff anymore. It's like the men and women, there's a big no-no with men attacking women. Can't do it. See, it's the other way around. The women are allowed to beat up the men, but the men are not allowed to touch the women. You only have Motu or Adora, Chira, Adam, Tila, Evil Lynn, Skeletor. Nice, man. Harley Quinn. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't have that many Motu figures. I have him. I think he's my favorite. I think Vicor he's my favorite. I always wanted Fisto, but he was way too expensive. I have Moss Man, and he smells funky still, which is a good thing. I have Hero 2, which I just got. I got a really good. He was in really good shape. Excuse me, I'm brain farting. I have a few. I have Hordak, which is my favorite villain, and he was the She-Ra villain, and then he ended up being a He-Man villain too, down the road later on. But I have a few. I want to say maybe I have around 10 or 12 MOTU figures. Not a whole lot. Um, yeah, Jake was awesome. Jake was awesome. Ravishing Rick Rude was a fantastic also. I feel like Ravishing Rick Rude and Jake should have held the WWF title at some point, and they never did. Hell, Jake, I don't think Jake ever held a title. I don't think he did in WWF. Never did. Yeah, Piper. I mean, look how long it took Piper to get the Intercontinental title. Just that. Like back then, like they didn't give a whole lot of people title runs. Like now, it's like a, hey, if you're signed up on the company, everyone gets a title now. It's like they just hand them out. You get a title, and you get a title, and you get a title, and you get a title. Oh, you've been jobbing forever. You get a title, Zack Ryder. Like Zack Ryder won the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. That's jacked up. I'm sorry. I love Zack Ryder. The guy's bust his ass. He has. If they did something with him, he could have great matches. Not good, not great, but good matches. But then you'd have him like he wins at WrestleMania, and it's like the ultimate slap in the face. Like he wins at WrestleMania, and then the next night he jobs to the Miz and loses. It's like why did you even have him win? I just that bothers me. That's such old mentality right there, as far as wrestling goes. It's so sad to see all my favorite wrestlers are dead or tired. Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. Tell me about it. Shawn Michaels retired. I was like, well, that might be it for me. I'm just kidding, but no, I mean you know, there's a lot of good stuff going on in New Japan. Like I can't stress that enough. It's so easy to access New Japan Pro Wrestling now. They're on Access TV. You can watch them on a almost a day-to-day basis or a weekly basis. You can watch New Japan Pro Wrestling on television. Like that would have never been a thought in my mind as a kid. There's no way. I would have been like I have to like tape trade or I have to order the tape online and pay for a crazy amount of shipping for overseas back then. But yeah, you can watch New Japan on TV. You can watch Ring of Honor every Sunday. Every Sunday, you know? That's the thing. Like, I start getting into the guys that aren't as well known now. Like, I love watching AJ wrestle. I used to like watching Finn Balor wrestle, but I can't believe what they've done with him. They've done nothing. Nakamura, you know, he was promising. He should have beat AJ at WrestleMania for the title. That's my opinion, but they dropped the ball with him. I mean, you know, it's just typical WWE. Their only goal is what's going on with Roman. They don't care about anybody else. I'm actually surprised that they've treated AJ as well as they have. But he sells a lot of merch, so I guess that's all they care about is money, money, money. Does Triple H even wrestle anymore? Not really. Actually, Triple H he's always going to be that guy that says he's retired and then comes back constantly. Like he hasn't wrestled since, what was it? Oh, did he wrestle? No, he didn't wrestle this year at WrestleMania. Thank God. He wrestled last year at WrestleMania. Took Roman over, right? No, Seth over. He wrestled Seth last year at WrestleMania. Like he comes back for a WrestleMania match. Like he didn't come back this year, but he is actually coming back. I think next month. Is it this month or I don't know. He's got a match against the Undertaker, and it's in Australia, and that's a thing. So he's always going to be coming back. He's going to be running the company one day. Yeah, they definitely need new writers. Their writers are a poo fest. You hated the Miz until I found out he was a really good guy. Well, he's a great heel. That's the thing. Miz is a great heel. He's substandard in the ring, but he's a great heel. You know, he He can actually get heat. People respect him as a heel. Babyface Miz is awful. He should bring back Saturday morning cartoon show. I know, right? I miss Saturday morning cartoons. I remember purposely waking up at 8 in the morning on a Saturday as a kid. And I was always a late sleeper, you know? Like, I wouldn't wake up until like 11 on the weekends. I'd be like, oh, I don't have to wake up for school. I'm sleeping in. I would purposely wake up on Saturday at 8 a.m. so I could start watching, was it Looney Tunes? It was like an hour of Looney Tunes. And then after that, it was, what was it? Oh God, I'm starting to think. It was like you got punched in the face in the 80s with Saturday morning cartoons, you know? Yeah, he was a babyface for a little while when he was like, he had when the Miz was a babyface for a short period of time when he had Ric Flair as his mentor, and he was doing the figure four and wooing all the time and strutting like Ric Flair, which was AIDS. But yeah, I miss those 80s and even 90s Saturday morning cartoons, you know? Yep. Yeah, me too, Harley Quinn. I used to wake up early just to watch them. Miss those tunes. The wrestling cartoons? I remember the wrestling cartoons. I remember they were actually on right after, what was it, the Fat Albert cartoon? I remember that. Cool little jacket that I might use for a custom figure. This Han Solo vintage collection Endor jacket. I might use this for a Joe because they actually do fit on Joe's. But another figure I ended up finding was the direct-to-consumer Meta Viper, which is pretty cool. I might have to get a couple more of him. I kind of wish that they would have made a female version of the Meta Viper too. That would have been cool. He comes with like a syringe right here that kind of folds up and down. Oh, and that just fell off. It's all right. It can pop right back on. Oh, that's backwards. There we go. Oh, that is loose. Oh, all right, that's good enough. But he's pretty cool. Doesn't go for much either, the Meta Viper. Probably find him cheap. Cheap a deep. Oreo's dreaming. He's dreaming right now. He's funny when he dreams. He like wiggles and moves his paws all over the place. Do I think in some ways kids or wait, do I think in some ways kids were spoiled when it comes to cartoons? If we're talking about modern day kids, I would say that there's maybe not enough cartoons for them. I would say our generation, we had a ton of cartoons, so maybe that could be a thing. Yeah. Okay, guys. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, the WWE ones. Yeah, WWE cartoons were pretty awesome. They were funny, but I mean, I miss all the like the X-Men cartoons from the '90s. Bobby's World. I used to watch that. Hey, Bobo! Hi, Uncle Todd! Yeah, I agree, Human Mechanism. The cartoons are way too fluff today. There's no balls behind them, you know? It's just like instant gratification, instant gratification, instant gratification. Like it's like the epitome of ADD cartoons are modern day cartoons. Like it's like constantly have to be doing something. There's no pacing behind it. Like the pacing is, well, there is a pacing. The pacing's so fast that it's like it's like too much. I don't know. And it's not even that it's like too much information all at once. It's just that it's just unnecessary information all at once. Like you don't have to have something happening every. It's like just I want to just say take some Ritalin and go calm down. And I have ADD. Go calm down somewhere. You know. Yeah, I don't like the modern cartoons, but they're not meant for me. You know, they're meant for kids. That's the thing. They're not meant for us. If they were meant for us, they'd be making shit like, excuse me, Birdman. Remember Birdman? Birdman. I love those Hanna-Barbera cartoons. They were awesome, awesome, and some even the bad ones were good. What I remember this. What used to really upset me was there were two types of Ghostbusters. There was Ghostbusters, right? Then there were the real Ghostbusters, which I thought was hilarious because they both. I think what Ghostbusters came out around the same time, maybe a little bit before the real Ghostbusters came out. And then I remember whenever I'd see I'd have a TV guide because that's what we had. That there was no regular guide on a digital cable, but I had a TV guide and I'd be like, "Oh, Ghostbusters is on at 11 o'clock tomorrow. Great!" I turn it on. It's 11 o'clock. I'm like, "What the hell is this? This isn't Ghostbusters," but it was the real Ghostbusters. So I remember TV guide for a while would not separate the two, so it would just be Ghostbusters. So no matter what, I had to tune in and watch Ghostbusters to see if it was the right one because TV Guide would screw me over and not put the real in front of it. So I'd always get stopped watching that crappy Ghostbusters and not the one I wanted to watch. It was so annoying. I hated that. I'm like, it's this one. Just wasted my time. Yeah, Rogue's dialogue was quite sexual. She was a very sexual woman. I mean, you can't blame her. She can't get touched, so she's all backed up, you know. Pensive, what's up, buddy? How's it going? You didn't miss the whole thing. I'm still going. Like I said, I don't have to work tomorrow. I'm sure the majority of you guys have off, so. Oh, the Sonic the Hedgehog shows too. Yeah. Oh, you like both of them? You like both Ghostbusters cartoons? Dim Guts? Yeah, I didn't like that one because I think I didn't like it because it wasn't the Ghostbusters that I wanted it to be. I was like, wait, what? You're not. That's not what I wanted. So I default hated it for some reason. Wacky Racers? I've never heard of that. I remember the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons though. Yeah, Rogue's accent was spot on, I think. It was perfect. Like the one with oh yeah, yep. I know what you're talking about, Harley Quinn. Voltron and Silverhawks. Okay. You'll also notice that I don't own any Voltron figures. It's the same thing with Transformers. Voltron figures were, for some reason, in my area, extremely hard to find. I could not ever find, as a kid, any Voltron figures. So I never got them. I never collected them. I never ended up getting any. So I don't own any Voltron. Used to watch Voltron. Never got any. I think I had the Black Lion. That was it. Never got into them, unfortunately. They're awesome, and I actually watched what was it, the Voltron cartoon, not too long ago. Have I seen the Lego Voltron set? No, I haven't. Is it good looking? I might have to check that out. Thundercats. I have a couple Thundercats. Silverhawks. I remember having a couple Silverhawks because I remember those not being too expensive. They were cool, but they didn't hold up. That was their problem. They would break easily. I remember those being very fragile. I did have almost the whole line, and I don't know what. Oh, my babysitter bought me these. Brave Star. I almost had the whole line for Brave Star, and that actually was I think that was around the price point of Transformers at the time. But my parents never bought me it. It was my babysitter that would actually bring me. Like, I remember if I was good in school, my babysitter after school would watch me. And she'd be like, "Oh, I got you this." I'd be like, "Brave Star, what's that?" Same thing with Cops. Like Cops and Crooks. She would bring me Cops and Crooks too. And then later on, she would get me Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. When Ninja Turtles came out, she would get me Ninja Turtles. So yeah, MOTU figures, I didn't have too many, but I had a friend that was like, his parents were rich, so he had like everything. And I mean, he had a Terrordrome, he had the flag, he had tons of MOTU figures, he had these like awesome Hot Wheels racetracks. Like, I would go to his house and it was like walking into a toy museum. So I'd just go hang out with him all the time. Like, I would just hang out with him. We'd play with his toys all the time. He had like all these vintage Star Wars figures. He had the vintage Millennium Falcon back then. And those were actually his brother's toys, but his brother grew up and was like, "I don't want these toys anymore. Here, you can have them." So he had like toys up the wazoo. Like, there was tons of them. So whenever I'd go over there, he'd be like, "Hey, you want to play toys?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." So I'd always go over there and play with his toys, everything that I didn't have. But I always had more GI Joes. Like, I had a ton of GI Joes growing up. Yeah, Brave Star was an awesome cartoon. I loved that cartoon. It's too bad that toy line was actually one of my favorites because they were larger figures, and I was so used to collecting 3 3/4 inch figures at that point, and I didn't collect. I shouldn't say collect. I should say played with, because really this was before I started collecting. I really started getting in collecting when I was like 12 or 13. Yeah, I didn't get any Transformers. This was before Ninja Turtles was a thing. I had a bunch of Superpowers figures, but for the most part, it was the majority of them. Besides the old WWE LJN figures that were huge. They were like this big, or about that big. I didn't really have any other figures that were like Brave Star size, and they were like a good size. They were like almost like, I think I want to say about a 7-inch figure or something like that, 6 to 7 inches, and I just loved it. And I remember the bodies being really quality, and I loved the accessories he came with. I loved his horse. It was awesome. It was such a good line. It really was a very underrated line. Same thing with Centurions. Centurions were awesome. Oops. What's that? Sleeping. Wait, I gotta catch up. GoBots. Yeah, I remember GoBots being at my Golden Circle, a local Golden Circle. If you guys remember those old department stores. Yep, Power Extreme. Oh, God, I'm knocking stuff over. Power Extreme. Stream. So good. Oh, Chris Star figure? Yeah, me too. Um, yeah, I wanted to do a segment, and I'm probably going to have to. I'm going to try and get that out I'm actually supposed to go visit Strident this week coming up. I'm gonna go to I go annually to it's like a tradition. I go once a year to go visit him. We hang out. We go to a toy show, the Columbus Toy Show. Um, but I wanted to do a segment this week, and maybe I'll just do that live, where I'm gonna go to my mom's house, and she doesn't live far away. I was gonna go to my mom's house and kind of go through my old stuff as a kid. Like I have some stuff from when I was a kid here, um, but all the other stuff, like my loose stuff that I used to like play with, and like I used to like really play with when I was a kid. I was thinking about going through some of that old stuff because I don't really remember a whole lot of that. So I thought that would be a cool little segment. Maybe do some like a nostalgia video, like a true nostalgia video, you know. So I might try and do that this week. Or the old school Star Trek, the Next Generation figures. Oh, I loved those. I loved those figures. They were like so disproportionate, but I loved them. They were so fun to play with. I love those. I was collecting those at the time because I loved the Next Generation, and then I loved Deep Space Nine too because it was like, oh my god, they have another show that's going on with this in the same time frame as the Next Generation. Perfect. And I used to collect those figures too, with the Next Generation figures, and I'd like have them go on missions together. And oh, I loved the old Star Trek toys. They were so much fun. Swamp Thing had some good figures too. They were cool. I had a couple of those. You had the Voltron Castle and Castle Grayskull. Wow, I didn't have that. I never even had a Sky Striker when I was a kid. I had the Tomahawk. That's why the Tomahawk is still like my favorite vehicle as far as like straight up GI Joe line. It's like definitely top 5 for me as far as vehicles go. Like I had a Tomahawk and that was my favorite because it was open and I could like drop off troops, and it was like a cool ass Chinook that could like actually defend itself, you know what I mean? And actually if you wanted to go on the offensive with a Tomahawk, you could it's totally believable that you could. It was just, I don't know, it was just like the all-around vehicle for me. Like the Sky Striker, it had cool things to it, but like as far as like detail and troop carrying and armament and stuff like that, I feel like the Tomahawk's got to beat. Like overall presentation too. I think the I always thought the Tomahawk um, was always a better. Yeah, I never had the Terradrome. I never had it. That was my white whale. Because I was always like, well, the Joes have the headquarters and they have they have the flag and they have all this stuff, and the poor Cobra only had the Terradrome, and that's why I was like, one day when I get older, I will own a Terradrome. And what was it? I just got it a couple years ago. It was one of the happiest days of my life. One of the happiest days. Uh, you were pretty shocked when you found out that GoBots actually came before. Yeah, yeah, that was shocking for me too when I first found that out. Yeah, yeah, true. That's true. That's true. Human mechanism makes a good point. Where the originators got surpassed by the next man up. Had Swamp Thing that could break apart with the extended arm. Yeah, I think wasn't that the color change one where he had the extended arm? He had like branch legs. I think that was the color changing one. The water changing one. Grayskull with the trapdoor. Yep, yep. You had all small vehicles. Yeah. One vehicle I never really liked was the Armadillo. I never liked that vehicle. Like I have one, but I don't know. I never liked it. You had the Enterprise bridge. I always wanted that. That was such a cool set. I always wanted that because I was like, I just want to be able to have Picard in his seat and Geordi and Data and Worf on the Ark. Because I had all the figures, I didn't have the bridge. So I remember I used to like make a bridge out of like I'd stack up VHS tapes and like I'd like cut out little cardboard boxes and like tape them together to like make Picard's chair. And what was it? One year, my friend Matt and I, we had to do we had like do some sort of stop motion, like video, and we actually did a stop motion of a next generation mission from one of the episodes. What was it? Which episode was it? I think it was the Borg episode with well, I mean there was multiple Borg episodes, but it was the one where they captured Picard because I had the Acutus Picard figure, so we used that, and they had to go rescue him. But we kind of did it our own way. We didn't go, scene for scene. But I remember I had to make a bridge for that scene, for one of the scenes. I gotta play catch up here. I'm way behind. Yeah, I know, Pensive. Cobra never got anything. The Sky Striker was the first thing G.I. Joe I ever seen at my babysitter's house. Yeah. I mean, Sky Striker had some cool features, but G.I. Joe got every. I know they did. They got so much stuff. Hopefully, they can figure out some sort of way to remarket GI Joe where it can be relevant again. Hopefully, it's soon too. I really think that they're making a big mistake putting all their eggs in one basket with a live action movie. I don't think it's personally my personal. I mean, I hope it's good. I don't. I can't. See, there's just too much going against it. I can't see it working, especially if it's going to be the third movie with continuity with the last two movies. It's been too long. It's been since 2012. Like, why would you wait this long to do the third one? Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, whatever. I had a Night Raven. Yep, I actually had a Night Raven before I had a Sky Striker. I always thought the Night Raven was cooler than the Sky Striker. I love the Star Trek movies too. So good. Even the OG ones from the 80s, 70s, 80s. The hydrofoil. I never had a hydrofoil. I never had a Rattler. Always wanted one. I had a Hiss tank. Did I film it on YouTube? Would love to see your stop motion. Oh God, I haven't done stop motion since since grammar school. So my stop motion probably wouldn't be too good. I could try it, but it probably wouldn't be that good. Yeah, I don't like the Persuader either. I never liked that thing. It that and the a lot of people like the Maggot. I don't really like the Maggot. I feel like it's really plain Jane. It's like the wanna. I don't know. It's like the I don't know. I know the Mean Dog came out after the Maggot, but I feel like the Mean Dog is better looking aesthetically than the Maggot. The Maggot just doesn't. It's like I don't know, like weird gray bluish with yellow, and I'm like, This doesn't fit the term maggot to me. I don't know. I would think of like brown or like tan for a maggot, not grayish blue with yellow. I don't know. I never liked that thing. It just doesn't, never appealed to me. So I'd like the slugger though. That's on my list of things I'd like to get. And it does. They don't. I don't think the slugger goes for much. Because I had a slugger when I was a kid. Um, do I remember the figures you could pull apart and they would regrow limbs? What? No, I'm not. I don't remember those, Pensive. Refresh my memory. What were those called? Oh, yeah, the Knight Rider car with Michael. That's awesome. I never had that. I'll have to look that up, Pensive. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember that toy line. Whew. I'm finally on my second beer. I'm teetoting a friggin' flat tire, for God's sake. It's good Belgian beer though. It's pretty decent. It's only 5.2% alcohol though. I usually like, unless I'm drinking like a crap beer like Miller Lite, which is like basically drinking water. I usually like to stick around the 7% alcohol or more, 7 to 9. I usually like a 9.2 porter. I love my porters. What was it? The other night I had there's the s'mores porter, and then there's the, what is it? What was it? It was chocolate chip cookie porter. It was delicious. 9.2% alcohol. It's fantastic. I had 2 and I was done for the night. Just kidding. Well, yeah. I can't wait to get my Mythic Legions, man. I can't wait. I hooked up Strident with a couple too from that Kickstarter because I know he was wanting to get them. That was kind of like my present to him, my birthday present to him. Visionaries were fantastic. I had a couple of those. I don't remember I don't remember the names, but I had the blue one. I had on the good guy side. I had the blue one. I had the green one. On the bad guy side, I had the he was like black and red, I think, and he had like on his helmet. It was kind of like it looked like the Snake Eyes helmet, if you know what I'm talking about, like the ridged over the eyes like this, and then it had like a claw on his head like that. I had that. I had that guy. Oh, I can't remember their names though. It's been so long. I don't even think I have any Visionaries though. Mask. I had a couple Mask. I had Matt Tracker. I'm trying to think who else I had. I remember Mask always being very easy to find. Spiral Zone. I would have never heard of that. I had a couple Care Bears. I had a couple Care Bears. Oh, this is another figure I found randomly. Recoil. I didn't even know I had him. Like I remember getting this guy. But he's in really good shape. The O-ring's nice and stiff. All the joints are stiff on him. It looks good. I just set him up there. You can look at his pretty face and not my ugly mug. The hell was that noise? Well, yeah, I found Recoil. He didn't have any of his accessories. I think this might have been like an older eBay purchase, and maybe the guy threw this in for free. Earth's most powerful soldiers fight the Spiral Zone. Yeah, I've never heard of that. I don't remember. I don't remember. I probably watched it as a kid, and I just don't. I'm not remembering it because I was probably really young. What else? Well, here's another figure that I'll probably keep Min on card. He's probably going to go on the wall. That's what I want to do tomorrow. I want to take my Min on card figures and kind of just nail them on the wall, here and there. But this is one of the few figures where I actually bought a separate Min on card one just to display, because it's just one of my favorite figures that I own, to be honest with you. Great figure. Another great figure is the 30th anniversary Shadow Guard, Emperor Shadow Guard from The Force Unleashed. Another great game to play. Oh, a game I was actually playing today was Predator Concrete Jungle. Awesome game, very underrated. An old original Xbox game. If you haven't played it, go play it. Do yourself a favor. If you want to feel like the Predator, like the real deal Predator, go play that game. Like AVP and AVP2 were cool games, but they're first person. Not with Concrete Jungle. Concrete Jungle, it's a third person, and he can like jump up buildings. I remember playing this game. Actually, that's how I played it. I played it on my old original Xbox because I still have my Atari. I still have maybe I should spend a video doing that, like going through all my old consoles, because I never got rid of any of my old consoles. I think the only time I got one of my consoles I don't have from when I was a kid was my original PlayStation, because it got stolen because my stupid sister had a house party and some teenager stole my damn PlayStation out of my room, which I was very upset about. But anyway, I still have my original Sega. That's actually here. Nintendo, Atari, Nintendo 64. I never had a Dreamcast. I know. I didn't have every console, but I had I had the major ones, I guess. I don't have a Nintendo Switch, which I would like to get eventually down the line. But I got Xbox original one. I ended up getting another PlayStation down the line. PlayStation 2, still have that. PlayStation 3. No, I didn't. Wait, did I get PlayStation? No. I don't have PS3. I went to the dark side. I went to Xbox 360. So I never had a PlayStation 3. Yeah. Eventually, I'd like to get an Xbox One just to play Forza, because that's all I want to do. I just want to play some Forza. And I can't play Forza because it's a stupid exclusive. I'd be like,